Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Q webinar, the last for the year, which is on the year to achieve your quality goals in 2022. I welcome Ajay. Ajay is Senior Director QE at G-Span Technologies. Ajay is continuously reinventing his testing methodologies. He's co-founded Weekend Testing, a worldwide movement for skilled testing. He's also authored multiple books. You can find them at bit.ly books/booksaj and bit.ly/AJ So go ahead and catch hold of his books. They're really motivational and inspiring. So without any further ado, I hand over the stage to Ajay. Ajay, the change and idea man, the stage is yours and go ahead.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Hello, everyone. So, what is this webinar all about? I have a dream where I feel that all of us can achieve our quality goals, quality objectives, anything and everything related to quality, we can achieve that. How is that? That is what I want to touch upon in this webinar. And I don't want you to spend, say, 45 minutes or 60 minutes and then think, oh, maybe this is not the right webinar for me, or I already know this, or maybe it is too early for me. So let me quickly go through all of the slides in less than a minute, so that even if you have wasted some time, it is just 5 minutes and not 45 or 60 minutes. So I will touch upon quality in general. What is it? What are the key terms that are related to quality? The usual challenges. Explain a little bit about each of these key points. Where do you want to reach as an organization, as a team, as an individual? And then organizational quality goals. So if you are heading teams, leading teams, you want to contribute to the org level quality goals, how to do that. So 3 key topics in that: customer logos, getting more customers, creating more quality champions within the company, and then how to innovate or how to get better at innovation. So these, and then the different levels, I would say there are few companies here, or few teams and few individuals as well, who say, Ajay, we are struggling. We know that we are struggling. Then there are like, we know what to do, but not able to do what we want to do. And there are some who like, can we be better? So we'll touch upon for all of those. And then for the individuals and teams, what to do, some quick points. And then for the org level, a brief kind of a framework, and then few points for individuals as well, what to do, and then some helpful links. There are some surprises as well if you stay long enough. And then, of course, play the long game. Don't compete on price alone. And then, who am I? I'm no one to influence you. All I can do is I can share something and then let you decide what to do next. And where can you find me and things like that. Okay, so that's it. No more slides. Interesting stuff in Zoom. There you go. Okay. So if this is what I'm going to do today, and if you're all okay, you could stay. If you feel no, thanks for the quick preview, we are okay with that, or we are not okay with that, thank you. Please utilize your time in a much better way. So let's get started. And again, thanks a lot for giving a part of your life for this webinar. So let's get started. Quality. We have heard the term a lot, and many people have discussed about it. At the same time, the most misunderstood term is quality. Why do I say that? If we understand the term quality, it is multidimensional, and it is specific to some person at some context, which is exactly what is the relative rule, which means for any abstract X is X for some person at some point. What is quality to you might not be quality to me. What is quality for me might not be a good quality to you. And then even if we know this, or if without knowing this, what are we trying to do most of the times? Measure quality, attach a number to it, try to better it with like, oh, we are at 48% quality, let's reach 52%. 52% of what? What is the denominator? What is 100% quality? So these are some of those gray areas that I want to touch upon first before we dive deep into achieving our quality goals, right? You have questions, you have thoughts, you think, I'm not touching something important. Please feel free to type it out, raise hands, and then we could discuss it then and there itself. So when we talk about quality, we need to understand that every stakeholder has their own perspective of quality. As a CEO, maybe how can I grow X company so that that company gets acquired? Or how can I be so powerful that I can acquire a Y company? How can I deliver quality to that extent that my company's name is known to the right people, the investors, right? And things like that. So, whereas an engineer might think, what is that problem that needs my thought process, my thinking, my innovation, and then I add value to the organization. So for an individual, it might be a little different. For a salesperson who is selling your product or the service, quality could mean, is it easy to sell? Can or will the customers or the prospects be hooked to the product, be hooked to the sales pitch? And when they use it in, say, the free trial or the demo, they are like, wow, we like this product. So the same product, same service, same organization, multiple different people, different stakeholders have different versions of quality, versions and understanding of quality. As an organization, the quality goal might be something different. I know I have my dear friend Balaji here who says, who advocates a lot about OKR and says, bring that objective, then the goals, the key results, and all of that initiatives. I like that. How many such companies do that? How many such companies or the engineers or the teams know what the goal of the company is? The goal of the company is something, the teams are working towards something, the individuals are working towards something. Now, with this disjointed efforts, at the end of the year, everyone is unhappy. The management is like, what are the engineers doing? Why are they not delivering what I'm expecting? The teams are like, we are burning out, but still we are not getting what we want. We are not being recognized enough. Somewhere there is a gap. So it all comes down to fundamentals. The P and S. You know what is the P and S? Fundamentals. If you had read the abstract well, you would know it. If you know, go ahead and type in the chat. What do you think the fundamentals are for quality or for any organization? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. People and skills. You want to build something great, focus on the people, focus on their skills. You keep the people happy, you keep the people engaged, you can achieve quality. That's my belief. Product, you can have a great product, but great products are not built without great people. Agree? So quality is multidimensional. As we kind of discussed a few minutes back, it is not specific to one quality criteria. There are multiple criteria. It is not specific to one quality criterion. There are multiple quality criteria. So it can be good in one and bad in another. So that's where quality cannot be measured, but it can be assessed. Because Quality is again tied to the person, tied to the context. At that moment, that person might say, this is great quality. The same person in a different context might say, no, this is not that good, right? So don't try to put numbers to quality. Then what to do? We'll soon find out. So what are the usual challenges when we say we want to build quality teams, quality goals, or get better at quality? First, do we have the essential skills to take us to the next level? Whatever be that level. You could be at level 0, you could be at level 9, you could be at level 99. You need skills to go to that next level. Do you have that skills? Do you even know what skills are needed? That's an important question to ask. The next, do you have the right budgets? Many a times you would have the most talented people, the perfect skills, but without budgets, you would see that they're not moving ahead. So budget is also a key challenge in improving the quality. Time. If the teams or the management or the stakeholders want great quality today, great quality now, sometimes it is difficult. Great things take time to be built, right? So a biryani cannot be cooked in 2 minutes. If you give only 2 minutes, all I can give you is a Maggi. If you want biryani, be patient enough to give the time that is needed for biryani preparation and then enjoy the biryani. Okay. So time is also, somehow people don't realize that time is equally a challenge as well as it is so important. How can you put in like the best talent, the best budget and say, okay, give it now? No, it cannot. It cannot happen. You have to think long term. You have to be ready to play the long game. Many people somehow are like, for the short term, let's fix this. Let's put in a patch. Tomorrow, let's see when we get there. By the time the person who did all of this short-term fixing, patching has quit. Don't take that immediate bonus and quit. Play for that long game. Reputation is something that will influence even after you have left. People. Without people, you can have all of this. You can have the management permission. You can have the skills. You can have the budgets. You can have the time. But if you don't treat the people well, they will leave. And then again, one of these or most of these will be affected. Many talented folks, many talented teams are capable of doing magic, but their management is not supporting. So think on those lines. If you don't get the support, your dreams will remain dreams. Now that we touched upon these challenges, I remember a lesson from Liberating Structures, which says, for any problem and every problem, there is at least 15% solution that you can provide. Irrespective of your context, irrespective of the problem, you can deliver at least 15% of the solution. Many a times I see people saying, oh, my management is not supporting. I don't have the skills. We don't have the budget. We don't have the time. We don't have the team. Complain, complain, complain. What have you done to solve that? Oh, I have just told this complaints to 100 people. Please don't be one of those people. You are capable. You, the one who is listening right now, you are capable of at least 15% of the solution. You can contribute at least 15% of the solution. And if you think of getting better by even 1% every day, that is magic. That is innovation for me. So where do you want to reach as an organization, as a team, as an individual? Many times we think organization means there's something big and there are all robots. Somewhere we disconnect an individual and a team from an organization. It's like, we are doing our pod work, we are doing our sprint work, the org is doing something else. No, it's every individual that when you combine is the org, right? That all of those individuals is that big org. You cannot have an org with, you can just say, hire 2000 people and then we are a company now. No, that doesn't scale, that doesn't work that way. You cannot reach quality goals, or you cannot have quality deliverables as well. Yes, in the short term you might succeed and think, oh, this is a great idea, but in the long term you will fail. So though I've listed out as like organization, a team, and an individual, once the individuals focus on themselves, they get better. They get better in their skill set. They improve their skills. And imagine every team member or like every individual now thinks like, I need to get better. I need to get better. Then now the team is better. Once the team is better, now imagine 5-6 teams thinking, yes, I need, we need to be better. We need to be better. And that's where the whole org is now like super good, right? So don't say my org doesn't do this or my org does this. You are also a critical part of the org. Oh, Ajay, I don't have the designation. I'm just a software tester. No. Remember the book, Lead Without a Title. You as a person has immense capability, has immense potential. It's just up to you to decide today that, yes, I will deliver. I will first understand what the org goal is. I will translate that to, my team goal. I will talk to my manager. I will get things done. Once you get to the mindset of, this is my org and I will help deliver value, I will add value, I will help achieve the goals, nothing is impossible. Okay. Many a times we don't achieve our goals because we think about the problems a lot and not about the opportunities. So Ajay, are you saying that we all will be able to achieve all our goals all the time? No, but we can definitely experience all of those. And that experience, my dear friends, is a very powerful tool to have in your toolkit. There are lakhs and lakhs of people who are still at that start point and have not experienced these. You are better than them in this context. You have that experience. With that experience, when you build, slowly the dots will connect back and then you are like super powerful. You keep the problem near your eye, it looks so big. You throw the same problem a little far away, it's like a small stone. So let's get to some actionable items. What could be the organizational goals? Getting more customer logos. Now, how do you get more customer logos? Do quality work. How do you do quality work? Solve the real problems. You keep on solving problems, you get, you're doing quality work and then you are getting more logos. You also need to be better than the competition, or else your competition will eat you left, right, center. You need to retain the customers. It is not one time that you deliver excellent quality and then you relax, but it is more on the lines of year after year, project after project, you increase the size of the customer teams, right? So retention, continuous value add. Many a times people they just do it. You tell me what to do and I will do it. That time is gone. We no longer need people who say, you tell me what to do, I will do. We don't need such people anymore. We need people who will not just say, but do, identify the problems and do their bit for the solution. Okay, add value continuously. A simple example, what is your hourly rate? Take your CTC, take your in-hand salary, for example, divide, and then find out your hourly rate. Are you adding value? If, for example, it is maybe 850 rupees or 3,000 rupees per hour, that's your hourly rate. if you gave that money to someone else, and whatever you're doing every hour on an average for a week, will you be okay to pay that amount to that person? If not, then what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for an appraisal? Are you waiting for a one-on-one meeting with your manager where your manager will come and say, hey, you know what? You are not performing up to the mark. Don't wait for someone else to say. Check yourself. You be the CEO of yourself. You think, if I am the owner of this company, how will I take this company to the next level? You can't think, read, interact, meet people who are senior to you, who are experienced, and learn what they know, which can help you. At least in this time, internet is so free. I mean, internet is, you can have internet at your fingertips, right? So make use of that. You should get more logos through marketing, and most of it should be word of mouth. Your customers should refer your next customers, and for that, quality work. These can be your quality goals, like as an org level. And if you're saying in terms of like quality champions, see, without quality champions, you cannot achieve great success. So how do you develop quality champions? Not everyone is a champion, born champion, but you give them that confidence, you give them that much needed support, you give them that training, you trust them, they will do magic. I tell you, you are brilliant, you are awesome. And sometimes I also tell you where you go wrong, then you will trust me. Hey, you know what, Ajay not only says when I do wrong, but he appreciates when I do right as well. But what most of the team members or managers do is be like this. The moment you make a mistake, hey, you made this mistake, catch you. That will not help. That will not help. In the short term, you will see some spike in productivity, but in the long run, they will not trust you. You will not trust them. The org goals will not be achieved. So skill-wise, are you ready for the new tech? Continuous learning, certifications to prove to maybe your customers, your prospects, till they believe you, or till they see your quality of work. Maybe certifications is the way to go. Can you do proof of concept on demand? Do you have the skill set? Why do we wait for a prospect to come and say, hey, can you show something on these lines? And then you start working on it, you show that, and then you win the prospect. Think on the lines of, can you be ready even before that? What is your brand presence as an org? Events, conferences, contests. Can you create artifacts which showcases the stuff that your team members know? And then finally, innovation. Profits, yes. See, at the end of the day, no organization is there for charity, right? There are some, yes, good. But business is business. Profits are important. How are you optimizing? How are you adapting to change? How are you doing things efficiently? Especially the things that are maybe repeatable, that can be optimized, and solve problems. The never attempted ones. Everyone solves problems that we know the solution to. But if you want to innovate, this is where the territory is without too many competition or too many members, right? Competing members. Solve the never attempted ones, and then solve the real problems. Don't solve just because you can solve, but see if it adds value, and solve the ones that matter and add value to your stakeholders. So this is on the org level, org goals. This I can say for both individuals and for orgs. There are some who say we are struggling, we know that. There are some who say we know what to do, but we are not able to do that. This is like, I would say, the second phase. And then the third phase is, can we be better? Whatever we are doing, we know we are doing good. Can we do better? Can we be better? For individuals, see, for org, we kind of discussed. Now I want to focus on the individuals and teams. Please get better at communication. Whatever be the goals, without communication, without a presence, without a persona, it is very difficult. Many people struggle to articulate their thoughts. They think aloud all the time. You ask them a question, they, you can visualize they bouncing around in their mind, the thoughts. Don't do that. Don't be that. Some people, if they start, they don't stop talking. Some people answer one word for, even if you ask 10-line questions, they'll say one word. Don't be that. Be that person who can communicate well, especially for, at least for your own thoughts. What's the point of having a great thought but you're not able to express? Get better at testing. One day, if you will have so many people super good at automation, that there will be too much of crowd there. And then when we ask, okay, can you find bugs? They'll be like, yeah, let me write a tool or let me think. Get better at testing in general. Automation is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but automation alone is not going to save you. Okay. Get better at understanding technology. How does this work? Get to know that. Risks. Be aware to highlight risk. Be skilled enough to identify risks. Get better at programming. All of these, whatever you see here, the blocks, each one is like a tool. Do you need to know all? To some extent, yes. Do you need to be an expert at all? Maybe no. Pick what is your key strength. Maybe you are someone who is like, who knows the latest trend. Like 1 hour before there was a news article about it, you know it, great, build on it. You are someone who can work with like hundreds of people, get things done, collaboration, you collaborate super good, go ahead, do that, build on it, right? So these are, I would say, like the syllabus. I'm not expecting you to score 100 out of 100 in each of these, but don't fail in one and then score a 90, 18 others. At least score the passing mark in each of these. Get to understand business. Craft.co is a great website to understand about a company. For the orgs, see, it all starts with hiring. Are you hiring the right folks? Are you even, your mechanism for hiring, is it right or wrong? Can it be better? Are you training people? Are you assessing their skills? What is your strategy for projects? How are you winning the customers? What is your USP? Do these people know that? Or it is all buddy-based program where the buddy, whatever the buddy says, these people take it to the next buddy, right? Do reviews happen? If not, what are you doing? You're just running every day. You're busy being busy. How will you improve if you don't know where you are? If you're not learning every day, big problem. What is that learning from doing all of this? All of these, 85 projects, 255 projects. You did all of that. Great. What is that learning? Where is it stored? How is it shared? If you don't do that, you're not an org. You're not a learning org. You are a bunch of teams, the siloed teams. You will not reach to the next level. That's the problem, right? You need to collaborate and challenge yourself. Challenge yourself, like whatever we are doing, list it out. List out that 45 or 100 things that you do as an org and ask for each of it. How can I get better at this? In 2022, how can I get better at this? Now, some people will say, I don't want to get better at all of these things. They'll bring in the 80-20 Pareto rule, all of that. Great. But at least think on those lines. Pick some things and say, okay, 2022, the first quarter, I will get better at hiring. And here is the person you are responsible for improving. How? Leave it to them. What is that end goal? Discuss and set it right. Communicate well. Let all the concerned parties know what is the end intended objective, and then track it, measure it in terms of not like numbers. How many interviews did you take today? No. right? Don't measure or don't try to quantify the abstract stuff. It'll not work out. People will displace the goal. You are tracking like, oh, why did you take only 32 interviews today? I want you to take 50. They'll take 50. Quality of interviews will reduce, right? So think, put in ranges. How many interviews do you need to take to get 3 great candidates? Okay, now can we increase that range, or can we add more people? Support that rather than put someone as a scapegoat. Continuous improvement is a must. No org is perfect, and the org that thinks they are perfect is the first one to go down tomorrow. Anticipate the future challenges and get ready. As individuals, now this is for the org, right? All the managers, the CEOs who think they'll help the org. This is for you. For the individuals, now those who have come to this webinar saying, Ajay, I want to know, as an individual, I want to grow in 2022. Here is what I would do if I was in your place. List out my strengths and weaknesses. What am I good at? What I am not good at? Whatever you're not good at, also remember that there are so many people good at it. If someone else can do it, you also, with the right effort, right guidance, should be able to do it. First, have that confidence. No, Ajay, I've tried, but I failed. You have tried, and that attempt failed. Try in a different way. Don't say you failed. You did not fail. That attempt failed. Okay? Just because you have a traffic jam on your way from, say, Goa to Kashmir, you don't change the destination, you change the route. So change the route for your goals. If you're not able to achieve your goals, please don't change the goal. Change the route. Change the way you tried to achieve the goal. Don't confuse job with career. Job is what gives you salary. Career is something that you build for yourself and as your portfolio. Deliberate practice. Why did schools give homework? They could have done what is being done in office, right? Do the work in these 8-9 hours and then go home. With that practice only, we were able to crack those tests. Same. Now I don't know why we have forgotten that. Please, let's get back to that school schedule. Let's practice. Keep the learning hours outside of your office hours. The first thing that takes the hit when work increases is your learning. Please don't do that. If you don't sharpen your axe, how will you cut the trees? Makes sense, but somehow we don't do that. Think about it. Who do you know and who knows you? Ajay, all I know is the 8 people whom I asked to refer my resume. Please don't be that person. It is so easy to know people. Stop adding polls on LinkedIn and start interacting with people. Say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I want to connect with you. I saw in your profile, you are good at this. Can we have a chat? Even a very simple thing, there are like 44 people here. Take a screenshot. Tomorrow go to LinkedIn and then talk to them. If you can't see them, then at least put on Twitter and say, hey, I attended this. Jostly gave the link to the Q community, right? The Excel Q community. Join that. Join, ping, DMs, talk. At least you will know if you can continue that conversation with that person or not, right? When was the last time you tried something new or you failed? If you start thinking, then it's good. But if it is like long ago, then a plant also grows, my dear friend. What are you doing? Nothing to offend you. I'm trying to help you in a friendly manner. And if you need help, Jocelyn is there. I am there. Talk to us. So I don't want to give thousands of resources. I want to keep it very, very simple. If you're someone who is starting your career, go for explore it. If you are somewhere in the middle, whatever that range is, If you think you are in the middle of your career, and if you have not read Lessons Learned in Software Testing, you have a team, you want to talk to the team, use this book as, to discuss with your team. And if you are someone who says, yeah, I think I've achieved something, but somewhere I'm not able to influence the management, I'm not able to take this org to the next level, Perfect Software is your friend. By the way, I could have put all these in different order and it would still make sense. Trust me. Okay. But people somehow need that spoon feeding saying, oh, I am so and so, tell me what is it. I am so and so, tell me what is it. Read, folks. Please read. If you can't read, there are multiple apps that give you summary. But whatever you do it for like 50 days continuous. Oh, Ajay, I did it for 24 days or 28 days and then I did not continue. That's okay. Start from the next day. Okay, start from the next day. Play the long game. People say, what should I do for the next 2 years, 3 years? No. What should I do next month? No. Play the long game. Think in years. Plan for years. It's fine. COVID comes, things like COVID happen. It's okay. But at least you're prepared, right? Be prepared is the key. And especially for quality, this quote is like awesome from the ministryoftesting.com. At the end of the day, I am no one. All I'm trying to do is show you something and let you decide what to do next. Okay. And, have I achieved something in my life? No. That's where I've made so many mistakes, 50 plus mistakes of my software testing career. So many tools I and Rahul tried. We said it is so difficult to remember. Let's put it as a book. We refer our own books sometimes. No. Bug Stories interested, I and Saranya wrote a book. We do this happy book reading. Every Saturday we read a book. We summarize a book. We finished close to 62, 63 books. So we said, okay, once we are done with 50, let's put it as a book. What are those 50 lessons? One more book. Heuristics for Effective Public Speaking. We did not like many of the talks, or maybe we would say we are like sympathetic. We're like, we wanted to help, really help. And we said, maybe this guide will help someone. So we wrote Heuristics for Effective Public Speaking. So these are my details. Feel free to contact me, and thank you very much. So I am I gave Josly time 4 minutes back. I said, Josly, 4 minutes for you.
Thank you so much, Ajay.
Thank you. There's so many questions. Will you read or I just take it and go ahead?
Yeah, I'll read them. So I'll give at least people some time to key in their questions while I just ask one question to you till we get questions coming in. So Ajay, you mentioned about focusing on the goals of the company, right? So how do you strike the right balance between organizational goals and your personal goals? So what would you suggest on these lines?
Say my personal goal is to get better at a specific quality criteria. Like I want to get better at maybe accessibility. My org doesn't want to focus on accessibility for now. Maybe they want to focus on, say, performance. And when I say my org, I'm not meaning GSPAN. I'm giving as an example because we do focus on accessibility as well. Okay. So say the X org wants to focus on performance. Now think, is it short term? Is it going to be a long term? Is it something which is not allowing you to focus on what you want to do? If that is the case, talk to the manager, talk to your, the one who gave you that big goal, and see if there is any way one of you can change. Right? Sometimes you can club few goals, right? Maybe like I will do this and I will also do this. But yes, I will not be able to do 100% for ABC. So let me add 2 more people or let me work with someone else. And as I told, job is not career. Do what's required for the job, learn what's required for the career as well, right? If there is a perfect alignment, congratulations. If not, don't worry too much. There are lakhs and lakhs of people without jobs, and there is no boundary or the upper limit. You feel like, oh, that person is happy because he or she is in X role. That person will be thinking about someone else, and that person will be thinking about someone else. There is no upper limit of, yes, this is it, you have arrived. No, right? So talk, prove, do a POC, keep learning. Okay, play the long game. Don't think, okay, let me work here for six months, see what I can do, and then move ahead. No, like, if you be with the company, you align with the goals, then things will work out.
Awesome. There's one interesting question I'm reading in the chat by Ganesh. So he's asking any sort of a common metric to measure personal goals.
Okay. I am tempted to try OKR in 2022. That is one of the goals for me, like to try out and master OKR concept. At the same time, whatever is the personal goal, see on the lines of, do you really want to do it? Does it drive you? If not, next ask the question, is it important for you? For example, health is important, but maybe it doesn't drive me. I don't like walking without a purpose. I don't like, like people say walk for 30 minutes. I don't like to walk, but then I need to walk if I have to keep working and not get ill. So I need to walk. So then try to, you have Jocelyn who says gamification, right? Try to add that element of gamification. And then you see, you no longer need to measure stuff. You're now enjoying it. And once you enjoy, once you have say a partner, a learning partner, or your spouse too, who can continue to support, who can be your accountability partner, then it is no longer a goal, it becomes a way of life. And please do read the book Atomic Habits. It will help you get started and continue to do the good stuff that you want to do.
Awesome. Great. So there's one question from Anandita. She says, how to keep a track of learning if we don't get a chance to implement it anywhere?
How to keep track on your learning if you don't get the chance to implement it anywhere? What do you need to implement? You have YouTube. You can go live anytime. You can record your video. You can put it on GitHub. Anything that you do, you can put it as a blog post, get feedback. There are multiple contests. There are multiple platforms. So don't always expect your org to give you a platform or a chance to implement. Go ahead and do that. I'll tell you a live example, right? I and my friend were exploring a tool. We kind of created a tool, and I had the tool on my mobile app. Suddenly there was a prospect or a client, right, where the tool would solve their problem. And immediately I showed saying, hey, look, do you want something like this? And the client or the prospect was like, yes, this is brilliant. Now, why did I make that tool? I did not have a dream that there will be this client or prospect who will ask for this tool. I did not have scope for this tool in my organization, so I did not do it for my org, but I did it for myself, right? So once I did that, then the dots connected after maybe 8 months. 8 months ago, this tool was created, and now the client or prospect came, and then that magic happened. Like, hey, look, this is there. So you, Anandita, you can do magic. Just go ahead, believe that, and do it. Okay, you as an individual is also an org. Now, if you are the CEO and you say, hey, I don't get an opportunity, create that opportunity. Do a POC, hunt for the opportunity in your org and showcase them the result. Don't ask for permission. Just do it outside of your office hours without affecting your current work, and then magic will happen.
Great. So there's one question from Gaurav. He asked, what should be the common factors for quality which most people should agree on?
don't aim for something, or don't try to get people agree to you. See what works for you. There's a big difference between, some people don't want to use mind maps. I don't want to force them. For them, Excel works the best. For them, Terminal works the best. For them, Notepad works the best. Let them continue. If I go and say, hey, you know what, this is it, everyone try this, no, I'll make more enemies than friends. Talk to them, ask them, what is it that you are doing? What is it that you are suggesting? Again, a POC. Common factors for quality. No one wants customers to be unhappy. No one wants to make losses. Maybe these things you can get most of the people to agree on, right? Yeah. So I've given you two, then you can build on it.
Great. Another one you mentioned about identifying risks. So could you suggest some best ways to get better at identifying risks?
What if questions? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I don't care even if X happens or Y happens? With experience, you will learn what is more critical or what is super important, and build on that experience. That is one way, experience. Second way is to talk to people, read, learn from those who have already experienced that. The third, try out a book called as Game Storming, and then let me, I'm sharing my screen, right? So I can launch something for you. There is, this morning I saw this and it was brilliant. Riskstorming.online or something on those lines. Hold on. Riskstorming. Yeah, riskstormingonline.com. So you could open that application. See, the principle of this is communication and brainstorming. And Game Storming book tells you the different ways to brainstorm. And Risk Storming gives you the platform to, say, for example, you are worried about operations and say accessibility. Okay, let's go to the next phase where you are also, say, when you talk and then you identify a risk called as, okay, let me add it here. What is the risk with the operations? How easy or hard it is to rectify a problem in production after the product is released. Oh, we might have to roll back scripts not ready. That is the risk. So add it. So remove it, right? So next, for the accessibility, testing for the elderly, no knowledge of accessibility standards. That is a risk. Need training is an opportunity. So you add it, and then you go to the phase 3. Now you relate for which one. Say for operations, rollback scripts are not ready. Maybe say always and never. When will you have ready and when you will not have ready? What is the history? Like how many times has it happened and things like that, right? So you put all of these, and then if you subscribe, you will get an option to export to PDF. I'm not subscribed, so I stop here. So what I'm trying to say is there are multiple tools. Use them, collaborate with your team, brainstorm, and then learn that way. Okay, and it could be as simple as, hey, my dear colleague, can you please help me identify risks? I think these are my risks. I think these are the risks that I could come up. What do you think? Okay, so that way.
Awesome. So we are almost on the top of the hour. Like probably if you have any more questions, we could take them. But Ajay, like I'd like to ask you one question. Like, normally we start the year with a lot of energy, and we set our goals. So there is also a question on the chat from Sudarshan, I believe. Yeah, Sudarshan. He asked like, how can you, what sort of feedback mechanisms you can keep in, and how can you measure your progress of goals that you set? So what would you suggest for Sudarshan?
Yeah, I was listening, but I was not looking here because I anticipated the risk of my laptop battery going down. Right. So, how do you measure? Don't treat it as a new year and then by end of February you're like drained out. Treat every day as an opportunity to shine. Treat every hour as an opportunity to showcase your potential. Treat every opportunity as a way to add to your experience. How do you measure? Will you measure how many times you did something that you liked? No, you won't. You just go ahead and do it. So cultivate that interest towards that goal. Then you don't need to measure, you don't need to track, you just do it. Right? So cross that barrier. And once you're doing that, have that review mechanism like, okay, how well I'm doing it. And that comes with like maybe note taking, having apps where they track you and all that stuff.
Great. Awesome. So, yeah, we are on top of the hour. So, thank you so much, Ajay. I think it was really helpful. I'm sure for the people, around 50% of us here who had not planned for their goals or not thinking to plan for their goals are able to set them and be successful in the coming year. So, Ajay, any parting advice from you before we end this webinar? Uh, yeah.
Live. As long as you breathe, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. And you can do magic if you believe that you can do. So just go ahead and believe. All the best. Advance Happy New Year and live every moment. Enjoy every moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for being there and for being so interactive. I hope you enjoyed this talk. I can see a lot of kudos to you, Ajay, coming from Gaurav, Amir, Bharat, and lots more.
And
Rajesh,
of course, thanks a lot to Jocelyn. Thanks a lot to the Axel Q. And yeah, thanks to everyone, each one of you who have attended and given your part of your life to me, which is a big thing, right? So thank you very much.